Well, Noor Gardens is kind of in transitional times right now, so it's been a juggling effort to salvage my rose seedlings. So here we have the first ever flowering rose hybrid grown from seed. It's a funny looking flower. It's got a burgundy pinkish looking stripe with apricot type colored petals. It does look like it's going to be some type of striped looking flower. Let me get it out of here. Potentially. It's only tiny little flower. But look all around the side. Look at that stripe, a very hard, prominent stripe in the petals. So it could be like a tiger stripe rose. Unfortunately for me, I'm unaware of the parents at this point because of my lack of success with getting this far in the past. All I did this time was throw the seeds together and I didn't mark who was the parent, who was the mum, who was the dad. So there you have it. There's two bushes here, tiny little rose seedlings that have survived. I've got plenty more in other pots on the other in the other stables. Isn't that interesting? So growing roses from seed absolutely can happen. It just takes time and it does take patience, real patience. I'm going to show you some of the rose seedlings over here. Yeah, time and patience. And believe me, I've done this for about 3 years and this is the first year where I've actually spawned a flower, like a flower from growing them from seed. Look at these. You can see some are doing better than others. Most are doing okay. Now I've had to makeshift this ridiculous looking pergola since I'm no longer at Noor. For the meantime, I have had to fashion this very unique looking shade area. Doesn't matter, it's doing the job, which is great. And before that, you can see the burn on this little one. So I knew before the Australian summer hits, I had to deal with it because once that summer hits, anything like this would just perish in hot, direct sun. Even though they're roses, they're quite hardy. That Australian sun, if anyone lives here in Australia, you know what I'm talking about. And so I've got plenty of things going on here. Here's a couple more. Actually, that's a weed. Rose seedlings. They're a little bit small. She's got big leaves. And a couple more, well, one over here. And over here are these cuttings. Some, again, are doing better than others, but they are, I would say if I dug that up, there'd be roots in there. So what I'm going to do is leave them in this pot for the summer. The last thing you want to do is be shuffling roots of roses in this time of year. So leaving everything as it is until winter. Once winter comes, I'll be pulling these apart and, you know, kind of fleshing out the roots and putting these in their own pots. I do have some others elsewhere, rose seedlings. Just can't think. Oh yes, they're in the other garden next door here. But just to show you, if you are desiring to do this, this is basically from January, February up until now, November. This is how far we've come. You've got to have a stratification period in your fridge for about 3 months. If your seeds haven't had a dormancy period. Got a couple more cuttings and things in there. Let's go over here. Because in here I have some more rose seedlings. Now this is a different environment. This is much more humid, but she is growing superbly well. And at some point, I'm probably going to take the lid off this, strengthen her up. Here's another. They're actually quite happy in this very moist environment. So here's another over here. Got rose seeds coming up everywhere. So yeah, you know, it can be done. I'm absolutely, you know, I've absolutely showed you it could be done. Just trial and error, people. That's what it is. So the first ever flower from Noor Gardens Rose Hybridization Program. Not really, but, you know, certainly a concerted effort of hybridizing. Very strange looking little flower. Interesting.